That is 60 pounds of honey, and we're gonna use 12 pounds, which is approximately 1 gallon, in the carboy to make 5 gallons of mead. This will be apricot mead. We've made it before. This is my Cerebral Cortex Remover. That's what I call this one. You'll see it when I put the label on it. It's a darn good mead, apricot. I'll flavor it with some apricot extract like I did before, and let me tell you, this is one to make. It's dynamite, dynamite, dynamite. So let's get on with the process. We already sanitized our carboy. We're going to pour, this is my marker here for the level of honey we're pouring in. We're going to pour in 1 gallon of honey from the bucket, and I'm sure that'll be real easy. So let's try getting on with that one. How you doing? I should have thought of that. 60 pounds of honey, a little less, there's about 50 pounds in there, is solidified. It's all sugared up. I can't pour it out the nozzle to get it in my carboy like I wanted to. So the best thing to do is heat it up. How am I going to heat it up? I'm going to throw it in our hot tub here, where our water is 104 degrees, and we'll let it soak there for a little while till it loosens up. I can dump it because I don't like scooping out the solids like that. That'll work out just fine. And while I gotta wait probably an hour, I put some water on. I'm gonna brew a beer instead. We'll do a twofer today. So I'm gonna make what's called a raspberry rapture. That'll be batch 129 if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I'll brew a beer in the meantime while the honey heats up. Why wouldn't I? This is crazy, ain't it? Ain't it? This is crazy, man. So the honey is all crystallized, and we're gonna rethink our idea here. We're gonna get this into the hot water up to a certain level, and hope we're shooting for the 5 gallon mark. And we don't know if we're gonna hit that or not. You just drop some on the floor. I don't want that. I'll do it myself. You're getting it all over the edge. Let your spoon out, I guess. Normally I weigh the honey, but we're going to go by the mark here. I'm going to knock this off. It's going to be a while, don't you bother. And we'll get the refractometer, and we'll see where we are. So you can get that out a while, I guess. We'll shoot by that way too. Just want to get the amount in to raise it to a little bit below the rivets there, because I think that's where you want to be. All right, I added another couple, 2-3 spoonfuls of honey, orange blossom honey. We were at 1080, which is basically a beer, a good strong beer. But we want to be about 1100, 1120, right in that range there. That's not a bad idea. It's hard to actually calculate it. This honey's all crystallized, so we'll take our time. Our water temperatures drop down to 110 or so, making it easier for that honey to absorb into the water there and acclimate. So after we're done stirring, we'll take another reading and see what we get. This is the Apricot Mead. We came in at 1.106. 1.106. On my camera here, 1.106, and we're going to drain it to the carboy here, and we'll get the yeast in there when that time comes. You're going to let it aerate full. Let it aerate as it goes in, won't hurt nothing. And we'll see how I measured the amount of water, if I made too much or not. I usually do it a little different, but this is just fine. So during the course of the mead, we showed you we had to soak the honey in the hot tub. That didn't work. We had to scoop it out of the bucket. And then we decided to make beer at the same time. So in the mash tun, here's the raspberry rapture. And it's been mashing now for about 45 to 50 minutes. And we're almost ready to get into that and get that a-boiling. But we made a mead in the meantime. I do want to put some fermaid K in here, or fermaid O, before the yeast.
Your hose is going to get in the juice.
That's fine. Seeing funny, it's way up here. Oh, the smell of that honey is awesome.
How much is left?
Too much.
All right, I'm going to get a gallon jug.
So we have a little bit more left in the kettle here. We're going to put in a gallon jug, and I just measured wrong. There's about a gallon left. And our temperature right now is a little on the high side. So we're going to let that cool down before we pitch our yeast. She's still at 105. And the honey's really dissolved nicely in there. Hope we left enough headspace. Okay, we made this mead yesterday with about 1 gallon, a little over a gallon of honey. And here's the Mangrove Jack's yeast we're going to put in. She was just way too warm to do that. And I like the new yeast packs. You just rip them open. You don't have to use scissors on them. So on the 5-gallon batch of Apricot Mead, I'll get the yeast in this one. Oop, I'm spilling some. I spilled some. Go figure. And we'll hope it's not like beer where she's gonna get very violent. Oh, I got the right one. Yeah, I got the right one. And a bubbler. Get that bubbler in there. I'll just fill it with the Star Sand bottle here. And then we're going to pitch, oh boy, and then this other 1 gallon, we're going to pitch some of the yeast from wine yeast here. It's not all spilled out, which it is. Had some left over from a different batch. Oh, come on out of there. I'll get that in this one. Different type of yeast. But these will start fermenting shortly or later. They're going to ferment, that's for sure. Oh, you know what I forgot? I've forgotten my yeast nutrient. I want some little fermaid O in there. That's not open. You gotta cut it open. Cut the corner open. And we'll get some fermaid O into this yeast. Come on out of there. Might as well shake it up a little. That's enough in that one. And we're going to put a little in this one. And that's all there is to it. We'll throw the rest of this stuff out. And we'll put her dress on it. We'll dress her up for success. And there she goes. She's in the dark. Almost 24 hours in on the Apricot Mead. Of course, it's just honey water right now. Just started to ferment. You can see the bubbler just starting to pick up some bubbles. On the little one too, she's picking up some bubbles. So yeah, 24 hours in, she just started to kick off a decent fermentation. We'll come back, check it in another, we'll check it tomorrow. I guess that'll be another 24 hours. Why wouldn't it be? So yeah, we did good yesterday. We did a couple of brews. We did that because we were waiting on the honey to soften up, which it never did. We had to scoop it out with the spoon and then warm it up. We're 5 days into fermentation on the mead, on the Apricot Mead. Got two of them going here. I don't know if the bubbles will show up on there. I'll hold a cloth in front. The bubbler's still active on both of the meads here. So 18 days later, both meads are still gurgling away. I don't know if the camera's going to pick up on those tiny little bubbles. You see the flashing of the GoPro. But she's still fermenting. 18 days. The bubbler will even move there if it's, yeah, you can see the bubbler moving. 18 days, same on the little one. So that's for the mead. It's going to be Apricot Mead, delicious.